Hello and welcome back to a whiskey adventure. Today we've got a very special quest for you guys. This is one that I've been looking forward to for a really long time. So this is going to be it's a bit of a double. It's both a blind, it's a known blind, but it's a blind and it's a bottle comparison. So what I've got here is I've got a pour, and these were both poured with a jigger, so they're both 0.75 ounces, so I have no clue currently which one is which right now. But one of them is the Lagavulin Offerman Edition Charred Oak Cask, aged 11 years. And the other one is the Lagavulin Offerman Edition Guinness Cask, aged 11 years. And these are both coming in at 46 ABV or 92 proof. But yeah, like I said, I'm a big stout guy. Barrel-aged stouts is actually how I got into whiskey. So I've really been wanting to try and find this Guinness finished Lagavulin. Lagavulin is one of my favorite Islay distilleries, probably right next to Lagavulin. But yeah, this is something that I've been looking forward to a really long time. So let's get into, I think this is one. So let's get into this one first. So this is my first peated anything of the night. And the peat is definitely, it's apparent, you know, as peat is. But it's definitely got a little bit of like a honey sweetness there as well. A little bit of a light fruitiness, like a pear. A little bit of that, like a char from a barrel. So this might be the charred oak cask one. Now I'm getting a little bit of cherry as well. So I'm really starting to believe this might be the charred oak cask one. And when I do the reveal, the way you guys are gonna know which is which, and the way I'm gonna know which is which is, so I created these devices to allow myself to give myself blinds. And so the way it works is there's two pendants on each glen. They both have dry erase board material on the face of the pendants, and they connect together magnetically. So on the bottom pendant, I wrote which bottle was which. So I wrote a G for the Guinness finish, and I wrote a C for the charred oak cask finish. And then I mixed them around a bunch. Once I got to the point where I definitely had no clue which is which, I put the bottom back to cover up the G and the C, and then I numbered them just to kind of help you guys stay consistent with what I'm doing. But let's get into the nose on two, see if we get anything different over here. Oh yeah, this has got to be the stout cask. Immediately, just a bunch of chocolate is jumping out in the nose. It's actually kind of, I feel like it's fighting the peat a little bit. Not in a bad way, but like it wants to be first in line. It wants to let you know the chocolate is there before the peat lets you know that the peat is there, you know? Not so much of a honey sweetness, it's very rich smelling. Maybe a little bit like a melon or like a cantaloupe. It's always harder when you get into these, these lower proof whiskeys to really get a lot on the nose. I don't have a great nose to begin with. I've got a severely deviated septum, so only half my nose even works to begin with, but based on the noses right now, I'm thinking charred oak cask and I'm thinking Guinness cask. But let's get into the palate of number one first. Yeah, so immediately peat, sweetness, honey. Almost a little bit of a pepperiness, honestly. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I'm surprised. That kind of makes sense for a peated scotch. Not really getting any cherry on the palate so much. That's kind of one thing about this bottle. And this is my second bottle of this actually. I bought my first bottle a couple years ago, and then I found this one recently for only $60. Can you believe it? And sometimes there's nights where I really get this nice cherry note on the finish from that bourbon cask, and there's some nights where I just don't get it on the palate. And as of right now, I'm not really getting it. That said, let's move to the Guinness Cask finish and see what that one is about. Or presumably the Guinness Cask finish. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's 100% the Guinness Cask finish. So I have the Westward Stout cask finish, cask strength, and this kind of reminds me of that as far as the impact of the stout. It's very smooth and well-rounded. It's chocolatey. It's dark. There's like a mocha note to it as well. Let's add a couple drops of water to both of these and see if that does anything to either one. Okay, so that, I don't know if I'm acclimating to it, but I feel like that buried the peat a little bit. Ooh, there's a real bright fruitiness that is jumping out now. Like almost like a mango or like a guava or something. Going to number 2. Yeah, just even more of that stout cask is what I'm getting on this one. Just super chocolatey. Again, the peat, I might be acclimating to it, but the peat, again, on this one even, it dipped out a little bit. The chocolate came up a little bit more as well. A little bit of sweetness coming out though. A little bit of that honey note from this one is starting to show in this one a little bit. All right, let's move into the palate. Yeah, okay. That brought the cherry note out a little bit more. It's not super apparent, but it's definitely there now. Yeah, I definitely like it more without water, being able to bring that cherry note out. It really just adds a little bit more depth to the whiskey. I'm gonna look like a fool, by the way, if I'm completely wrong and this is the Guinness Cask one. It wouldn't be the first time I've done one of these blinds where I was like 100% confident in what I knew what they were, and then I'm just absolutely flabbergasted, mind blown for the next like 10, 20, 30 minutes. So hopefully that doesn't happen and I'll end up looking like a complete fool, but let's get into the palate on this one. Yeah, it's just super friendly, chocolatey, smooth. It's like a welcome home, you know? Really nice. As I did with that Monongahela rye review and the newer 6-year malted rye, I took a bottle swig from this because, again, it's a sample that I got from a generous bean on the SLB Drinks Discord. I'll put his name on the screen just because I forgot to double check. But I think it was Orpheus, I believe. I I'm 100% sure it was Orpheus. So shout out to Orpheus. We did a couple, like 5 different sample swaps, and I'm really glad I've gotten to a chance to try this one. I was going in expecting this one to still be my favorite one. It's still probably one of, if not my favorite, Lagavulin expressions, and it's still one of my favorite peated Scotch expressions that I've had. And that's saying a lot because I've had some Octomores, I've had a lot of different Bunnahabhains and Lafroy, Lagavulin, you name it. I've had quite a bit of Scotch. And it's really just that cherry note on the charred oak cask that just kind of brings it all together for me. It's almost like I get to have an Islay Scotch and a bourbon at the same time. But again, this is also nice because it's almost like I get to have an Islay Scotch and a stout at the same time. So that said, let's do our reveal. I hope I don't look like an idiot. And that's a C for charred oak, thank God. And that's a G for Guinness. So we were able to tell which was which. Fortunately, today won't be one of those videos where I look like an idiot, but there's definitely going to be some of those going into the future. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the alerts icon so you can get notified for any time a new video comes out for you guys. I'm going to be trying to release them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to try and keep a nice steady schedule to keep you guys entertained. Let you know, I have a ton of friends in the local whiskey community here in San Diego, and I've got quite a bit of access to a lot of stuff, so I might be able to bring you guys some really interesting bottle reviews. I've also got plenty of my own stuff. I've got a whole bunch of American single malts. I've got a whole bunch of Texas whiskey as well. Hopefully you guys are interested in those because we will be doing Texas whiskey reviews on this channel. Balcones and Garrison Brothers are some of my favorite distilleries, not just in the US, but just kind of in the world. But that said, let me know what you guys think if you tried either of these in the comments. Let me know if you have a preference between one or the other, or if it just kind of changes based on your mood that night. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks for coming by, and I hope to see you next time.